Hello everyone, this is Say from Who Are You? So today I was finishing up meditation and thinking about what's happening in the world, and there's so much uneasiness and people are so confused, and there's, are they starting a new war in Europe? Why do we keep going to war? Economic downturn. But there are those who are also thinking positive. Their jobs are going well, their business is going well. There are many ways to see the world, but we need to go back to seeing the world in the fundamentals. The fundamentals. Who am I? Why am I here? We don't ask these questions. We are scared of these questions. They may be scary, but most of the uncomfortableness we feel is because we don't feel comfortable. We don't have an answer. No one is giving us the answers. Schools haven't given us the answers. And we haven't gone deep enough in meditation or philosophy to find these answers. But if we don't find these answers, then we always feel sort of empty and uneasy and uncomfortable, especially in times like these. We have many masks. We're always covering ourselves with labels and names. Even Shakespeare said, we are just an actor on stage in this life, and next life we are a different actor. So what kind of actor are you? And what is your role? And why do you play that role in this life? But that is just one role to play. And a role is just a role. What's more important is your study in this life. You come here and everybody's got, within one lifetime, they've got one study to really master. You come to do meditation, advanced meditation, you master all these studies. But in generally, people have one study and they repeat that study again and again. And if you look at your life and you write down the incidents, you will see that, I'm studying this again and again. You need to pull out it from the root. So that is the spiritual story, the emotional story, the mind story that we don't talk about in school or elsewhere. We talk about the superficial. How much money do you have? Have you been successful? Those are all great, but the key point is, have you learned your key points of your mind study, and have you mastered them? Or what do you need to do to master them? So if you don't master them in this life, then they will come again next life. And so if you come to advanced meditation, then you can master all of these. But that is something we think about. And these are big questions. Who wants to ask such big questions? Life is so busy and so many fun things to do. Who cares about these big questions? It's because all we have is, we have birth, we have aging, we have sickness, and we have death. And that's all we have. And everything else is sort of in between there. So we need to know these big questions because they give us an awakening. And when we know these answers, our mind becomes so comfortable and our mind becomes so light. Of course, you can continue and go on with your goals and achieve your goals of money and power and success and family and love. But you achieve them in a sense of knowing why you were born and knowing why you're here and why this system, this universal system of principles was created with logic and theory and mind so that we can, live this life and evolve and then go to the next stage, which is, after death, Go to the next stage. What does all that mean? So we have to think about those and find answers to them. So that kind of clarity makes your mind less heavy and life becomes more joyful because you can appreciate this life because there was a life before and there's another life after this. And so everything is just sort of a moving situation like the clouds behind me. You're this cloud here and then you're that cloud. When you accept all that, then your mind becomes very deep and strong. If you can't accept that, then you're living not from the deep mind, but you're living from the ego, from the ego. So you've got an ego and you have a deep mind. The deep mind and the ego is just sort of the superficial mind. It's sort of your personality, and it's the animal parts of your personality. We call it, 5 emotions, 7 desires. So let's turn that around. 5 desires, 7 emotions. So the whole world just contains 7 emotions and all the dramas there, and 5 desires. So knowing who you are is basically just looking at what desires you have and what emotions you have. And everyone's just a combination of those. And, the great teachers have always talked about the middle way and going back to the circle and going back to the universe. And as Buddha said, erasing your color. When you have emotions and desires, you have some kind of color. But when you erase those colors, those desires and emotions, you have no color. And that's returning to the source. The source has no shape, no color, no sound. And that's your original nature. Although it looks empty, it's full of everything. So getting rid of the ego is key. But then what is the ego? And I just explained that. And what is the process of letting go of those desires and knowing those desires and knowing your emotions? That's meditation, that's observation, that's breathing. So the process is knowing energy and using energy through breathing. So use deep breathing, breathe deeply down to the danjam, and use deep breathing to understand how the energy is flowing inside you. Ego, emotion, desires, all energy. So when you use deep breathing, then you can observe that energy and you can clean that energy. And as you clean that energy, then your deeper mind, your soul, your spirit, your IQ, your spirituality starts to awaken. And you start to awaken to see, as I said, these universal principles. That's why I'm born. So the earth is a training planet. It's a place where souls come to grow and mature and learn and awaken. So that's why we're all here. We're not here just to make some money or something. It's just some kind of tool. The real point is we're a spiritual being here to awaken. So we use the energy to awaken our mind and we start to see these patterns, universal patterns. So these are the principles we are to live by. So these are my exact studies that I have to do. And through that, your mind says, aha, aha, aha. And those aha moments help you start to awaken. And as you awaken and your mind becomes lighter and calmer, then through the energy and through the awakening of the soul, you bring down your wave frequencies. The universe frequency is very, very low. It's an alpha wave, 0.001 alpha wave. It doesn't move. So as your breathing starts to stop and not move and go slower and deeper without movement, then you're in rhythm with the nature and the universe. And you can read the same patterns and understand the same logic and understand how everything's flowing together. When you're up here in the earth pattern, you cannot see nature or the universe because the patterns are not matching. You match frequencies with people, right? People you don't match frequencies with, you can't understand, you can't communicate with. So if you want to understand the universe and understand your original mind, because your original mind, which is below the ego, is at that level that doesn't move. So to understand that mind, you have to become very calm and very empty and very without color. Earth is a school. We're here to study. And so I'm here to teach and share. the principles of the universe. I'll just keep sharing those, and we'll just share it together. If you're interested, then we can, talk as well too. But that'll be all for today. Who am I? Talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.